It's an exciting day this morning. So I just got the wheels set up for the truck. We got the wheels in from a separate vendor, got the tires in from another one. Took them over to Jake. Dang chickens. Took them over to Jake. We got them mounted and balanced, and now it's time to get the truck set up for these wheels. Now, before we talk wheel specs, I did want to mention kind of the grand scheme of this. This is V1 of the LS. This is V1 of the LS swapped Mazda B2200. So the plan here was always to get 6 lug to 5 lug adapters, run the wheels that are going to end up being the perfect fit in V2, and then run it like as is until we get to the V2 portion of the build. The V2 portion of the build is going to be using the Kai Fabrication adapters to run the Crown Vic stuff in the front with the Explorer front brakes, and then a 8.8 from an Explorer in the rear with disc brakes as well. What all that really means is that these wheels are going to have a little bit of poke with the V1 setup. When we get to the V2, they'll be nice and tucked. And here we go. These are exactly the same as the RX-7's rear wheels. These are 17 by 9.5 with 255 40 R17s. Went with Falcon on these, just a really aggressive tire. And then the offset I think is 32 millimeters, which then with these adapters, you're looking at really kind of like -1 is the actual offset, combining those two. So what is all this work going to take? Well, these are 1.5-inch adapters. They're as narrow as you can go. These were custom machined for me with the hub bore of the wheels and then the truck's hub bore. Basically, right, you can see the 5 lug pattern and then the 6 lug pattern is underneath here. What you do is we have to cut down our stock studs to about, I think we have to cut like 1/4 inch off of them. And then we put these little nuts on there, which holds the front plate on. And then these hex head ones go in, and then that tightens these 2 adapters down. And these also have upgraded studs as well. I think these are 14 millimeter studs, just because they knew it was going in a higher, a V8 application. They didn't want it to be a, 12 millimeter typical and then something breaks in the setup. So super heavy duty, but it does require that we take the wheel off, run those shorter nuts on, and then we're going to cut the stud off, and then just kind of repeat at all 4 corners, and then we should be able to bolt the wheel on after that. Now we're just going to grab one of these adapters, pull it apart. We're going to run all these on first before cutting. That should allow me to cut like near the nut and then just back the nut off, which hopefully will chase the thread and avoid a lot of work on the back end. Oh God, those are locked down. Okay. All right, so I've got it on here. It looks like everything but 2 right here need to be ground down a little bit more because this is just flat in the back, so it will hit. Okay, we've got our first adapter on. So now the outside section is going to go on here. We'll screw it in at those points. Our new wheel lugs and 8 are on the truck. Obviously, they're like, I think like 1 inch shorter, maybe 3/4 of an inch shorter. We do have the clearance, and they are a little tooted out right now. But that is somewhat intentional because, once again, when we go to the 8.8, this is going to sink that 1.5 inches, which will put us about right here. And that's kind of what I was looking for. Now, you just got to go around all 4 sides and repeat the process. here it is, guys. So we got the wheels on. Everything's settled down. Went out, took it for a drive, so suspension's all settled down. Wheels are where they're going to be. You can see we've got our poke here on this side. I'm pretty happy with how it looks, honestly. I mean, knowing that these wheels are going to push in definitely helps. I want them to be in more, but like have maybe a 1/2 inch of poke. Right now, they're about, 2 inches, probably 1 3/4 of an inch of poke. You can kind of see that better here. And I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll get some measurements just with this current wheel setup. It's slightly less diameter. Measure the wheel gap. This is all stock suspension. Give you guys the poke on the 2-wheel drive body. And like I said, whatever gap that we've got going on here. So over here at the front, looks like we have about 4 inches of gap on stock suspension. And at the back, we've got about 5.5 inches of gap on the stock suspension. For the rear, like I said, that poke's right around 2 inches. Maybe a little bit more, but I'd say about 2 inches. Looking at about 2 inches at the front as well. I'll get this a little turned, but I would say if you're looking straight down, we're looking at 2 inches of poke. I don't personally want this thing slammed. Like, I want it low enough that it looks similar to the RX-7, but not... I don't want to lower this thing like over 3 inches. I really want it to still function as a light truck, so... I'm going to start looking into what I can do to lower it, but for right now, I'm pretty happy with it. So if you guys are looking for an adapter set to go from 6-lug to 5-lug as narrow as possible, I can put you guys in the right direction. I'll try to put a link to the guys that did this for me. Super helpful. They called me, they had questions about the setup, and they made a custom set based on my answers to those questions, so I was pretty happy with it. I think cost-wise, this would be a great solution for those of you who aren't swapped and you're just using the stock driveline. There's no concern about breaking anything. I really think this would be an easy option. Just knowing that you will have a high offset, really no matter what you do, unless you're running probably or more like a front wheel drive wheel with like a 45 millimeter positive offset, that might get you tucked in some more, but you're still going to have probably a 1/2 inch of poke. Just a cheap option to get you some 5x1 14.3 wheels. You are going to have poke, but you are going to get a lot more options with a 5-lug setup than the 6-lug setup. That's going to be all for this one, guys. Pretty short video. I just wanted to get this information out there, kind of show you how easily you can make this thing adapted. Talk about some of the value of doing it this way versus going ahead and getting some adapter and doing a whole big process that involves a ton of new parts. This is really simple, something everybody can do, and isn't just to the LS trucks. This is just to all B-Series trucks. Definitely opens up your options with those 5-lug wheels. So that's it for now, guys. I'll catch you in the next video.